So Tausch and I had LaFleur on the show yesterday, and we were talking to him about the Coach of the Year award, and obviously having you as the quarterback makes it a lot easier to win a lot of games. I'm wondering about the reverse of that, though, because obviously you've been great these last 2 seasons after you found your rhythm in his offense. But and I'm not trying to drag Mike here when I ask this, but toward the end of 18, it looked like you were trying to make something out of nothing a lot and extending plays to trying to make something happen when things weren't open. And I'm just wondering how much having him and his system has helped you as much as you've helped him be a great coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think he definitely deserves a lot of credit. Head coach is so much more than just a guy standing up there in front of the team before the game saying things. You know, you have to put a staff together. You have to trust that staff. You have to delegate. You have to kind of set the tone for the work ethic that happens around the facility, set the expectations. You know, I think there are a couple of little simple things that he did when he came in, which resonated with a lot of people. First is he had 3 rules. And I remember the other night they were talking about Madden. I was watching the Madden doc, and Madden had, I think, 3 rules as well. And the simplicity of that shouldn't be lost. The fact that often this game gets overcomplicated by certain things or verbiage or coach speak or whatever it might be. And when he came in and said, I got 3 rules, I think everybody kind of perked up a little bit and sat up a little straighter in their seat and said, okay, all right, what are these 3 rules, you know? And the scheme works. I mean, obviously the scheme has been productive, and there's, you know, Tennessee's running some of it, and LA has obviously had a really nice year and running it. Niners have been playing really well, run the same schemes, and us. So the scheme obviously works, but you got to have a combination of the scheme, the personality, the simplicity, the delegation, and all those things combined. So I think he deserves a lot of credit. He should be Coach of the Year.
Matt Schneidman.
The Zoom working this week?
Yes, Matt.
Excellent.
You're
Aaron, how would you? What was that?
Go ahead.
Okay. How would you describe Marcedes Lewis's value to this team, and is what he's doing this year any more remarkable, just given he never gets hurt? He's 37 now, and just, is it something that you've never seen from anyone else in this league in all your years?
Yeah, what are the old commercials? Was it a Visa commercial about this cost this much and this cost this much, and then this is priceless, right? Remember that? I think it was Visa or American Express or one of those. That's how I feel about Big Dog. You know, his salary is X. He's been on the team this many years, but his true value is priceless because it's so much more than just his on the field production. It's his presence, his personality, his leadership, his countenance, his energy, you know, everything he brings to the squad. So he's been an important part of this. So glad that he, you know, came back to us this year. He's been very productive. I think there were maybe concerns about, you know, him getting older and being able to hold up. He's held up great. And Matt's done a good job with him with his schedule, allowing him to, you know, take a day off a week if that feels good. But yeah, big credit to Big Dog for getting himself ready to play mentally and physically every week, dominating the line of scrimmage, and just being an invaluable, priceless part of what we're doing.
Nicole Menner.
Hey, Aaron, I know everyone can get something different out of the bye week, whether it's guys getting healthy or the ones who are returning, kind of integrating back into the mix. But for you specifically this time around, what are you getting out of this bye week?
Rest. I mean, I'm about to go home, and it's what, 12:22. It's pretty freaking sweet. So I'm going to enjoy this rest. I still, like, I'm sure many people, hopefully it's not just me. I mean, I still got semi-messy house post, Christmas and New Year's, and it's the end of the season, so you don't have time for that. So I'm going to clean my house. I'm going to rest. I'm going to read some books. And I'm going to relax. That's what I'm getting out of this week.
Aaron, I wanted to ask you about Rasul. He's a guy that kind of caught everyone by storm with that electric out of nowhere play in Arizona. Was there anything you noticed about him before that play that kind of gave you an idea that, I know you noticed guys in the practice field, gave you that idea that he might be able to be the type of player that he's been for you? Or did that moment kind of catch you as surprised as everyone else?
Yeah, it's a good question. I was thinking about it the other day, actually, if there was anything that ever stood out to me specifically in practice. We don't do one-on-ones anymore, and that used to be a good kind of barometer of where certain guys were at. You see young players and they're competing, and maybe see kind of the next group of guys that could step in and play if there are injuries. So there wasn't like a main moment in practice you kind of go back to. I mean, he was competitive for sure on the football. What strikes me the most about Rasul is the way he carries himself. And a lot of that, to me, there's some learned behavior when it comes to confidence and carrying yourself with that kind of natural swag and presence. But for some people, it just comes naturally. And I really feel like with Rasul, he has a natural confidence about him and kind of an old soul mentality where he feels very settled as a player in the locker room. I thought he was maybe in his late 20s, early 30s, and I think he's 25, right? 24, 25, maybe 26 at the most. So he just carries himself like a guy who's been there, done that, and not in an entitled way. There's enough entitlement in this world, but not in an entitled way, but in a really confident, natural, confident way. And I think everybody appreciates that from Rasul. The moment was never too big for him. And I'm so happy, he's got these opportunities. He's made the most of them, and he's deserving of all the praise and attention that he's got.
Mark Daniels.
Hey, Aaron, how are you?
Hey, Mark, doing good.
Good. Hey, you've been around a lot of coaches over your career. Just give me your thoughts on why you think Hack and Luke should be appealing to some teams that they're going to be talking to.
Well, Mark, it is interesting which coaches get opportunities and which don't. I've been able to be around some great ones over the years, and it is always interesting to see who gets the opportunities and who doesn't. I think on a base level, the ability to relate to players and lead a room should be at the top of any general manager or owner's desires. You have to be able to relate to guys, to this whole college mentality, high school mentality, coach, needs the player to be scared of them. And, some of this way of coaching that's thankfully gone the way of the white buffalo, that shouldn't be a part of, what people are looking for. It should be an ability to relate to the guys, to understand what they're into, how to motivate, inspire them best, how to get them to be self-motivated, set the framework for the squad and the focus, and then trust your staff that you've put together, trust a leadership football team, encourage player-led teams. And then it needs to be somebody who can control a room with presence, with speech, with the concise message needed at certain times. And I feel like both those guys can do it. Kudos to Matt for giving the opportunity. All of our coaches do presentations, and they are freaking phenomenal. I mean, I'm telling you, it's some of the best I've ever seen. Like, I always think if I can just get past that Thursday morning workout, it's going to be a great week. I got J.O.'s presentation. I got Ben Sermon's presentation. I got Getsy's presentation. Friday, I got Steno, and I got Hack. I mean, it's fun coming to work, and it's because those guys have such a great presence in front of the room. So I think both Hack and Getsy can really relate to the guys. They're younger. Hack's been around the game forever. His dad is a legend. Getsy played the game in college, actually with a couple of my former junior college teammates, crazy enough. He's 38 years old, about to be 38. And, he's got a great energy about him. They can both lead and be in front of a room and I think captivate an audience.
I've lost track of how many times you said you've taken a painkiller for your toe, and I don't know what the medication's like, but how many of those can you actually take? And is there a point where those become, I don't want to say unsafe, but just a little bit leery of doing that?
I haven't taken one in a number of weeks now, Rob. So that's been the most encouraging thing. So got through last week without doing one. It was just a pretty standard shot in the toe, very painful, but numbing agent. So that helped me get through the games. The whole goal was to be able to not have to do that, and it's been a few games now without doing that. So I'm feeling good. Practice today, close to 100%, but I think I should be 100% probably by next week.
Mike Clemens.
In the last few years, the things that you've talked about in interviews, maybe some of the books you recommended, I get this feeling you've continued to work on your composure under pressure, focus, what's important, what's not. And then Sunday night, Derek Carr walks off the field, performs in the clutch in a big game, and then says he credits a lot of it to some words of encouragement you gave him. So I'm thinking about what, typically you talk to a guard or linebacker and their body clock is going, so they're ready to go through a wall at noon on Sunday. Tell me what that locker room is like for you, or your leadership in terms between being, the angry football player versus the focused football player.
Well, I don't want to take any more credit for Derek's success. I sent him a few text messages because we are friends. And I just want to send him a couple of encouraging messages. He's, been close to the playoffs, hadn't made it yet. And I just enjoy his personality and his friendship. So I was surprised that he mentioned it afterwards, but I do appreciate his friendship. For me, before a game, it's very kind of just in my own world. There's some music going on in the locker room. Thanks to my Bose noise canceling headphones, I'm able to kind of drown the majority of it out, even though it is kind of pumping pretty loud. And my music is usually some sort of either acoustic guitar or piano or instrumental selection. I just like to kind of get in my focused Zen mindset where I'm working on my breathing. I'm trying to slow my heart rate. It's kind of a process I like to go through. And then once we get within an hour of the game, that's when, I'm getting stretched. I'm getting ready for the game. I'm taking last looks at my, first thoughts and the wristband to make sure I have a familiarity with that. But the entire time, I'm trying to do things to calm my mind, calm my heart rate, work on my breathing, think about the reactions I want, the instincts that, I'm asking to take over at certain times. And then look for those guys in the locker room that may need a word or a hand or some sort of energetic passing of relaxation or confidence. I think that's part of the pregame as well. But yeah, I try and be, the most calm person in the locker room. People are looking at the quarterback all the time, and everybody has a role. There's guys need to be energy guys. I need to look over and see Rashawn Gary doing his thing. John Kuhn forever was the guy that would take out the big green band and be doing his biceps, curls before the game to make sure his arms look good for TV. And, Josh Sitton to be puking in the bathroom. And, Dave is, yelling obscenities in the corner, and whoever it might be. There's certain guys you kind of need those pregames. I could look over and see, Devontae super focused. I can see Rashawn getting pumped up. I can feel Sav and Smash ready for the game. I can look over and see Dave about to lose his mind in a good way. And then I can know that, my role is to be the focused, relaxed guy over there, letting guys know we're going to be okay. And let's be confident.
We're going to do a couple more for Aaron. Tom Silverstein.
Hey, Aaron. I don't know this means, but advanced statistics say that the ball's been out of your hand a little quicker this year than it was last year. And then thinking of that in that first two series against Detroit, it seemed like you had all day to throw. Like I hadn't seen you in that situation. So, one, have you been getting the ball out quicker purposely throughout this season? And if so, what changes now? Can you flip a switch and go back to, waiting and trusting and everything like that?
Dave is convinced I was doing that on purpose to test him and his ability to extend some of the blocks. He was laughing, with TJ and myself after the game, talking about that exact fact in those first two drives where I kind of, was holding it, was moving. He was leading up to it. He's saying, man, you've been doing so good. You're getting the ball out quick. You're not holding on to the ball, and then I come back and you're, running around and extended plays. And I'm like, I'm not trying to, Dave. I like the way this has gone. I enjoy getting the ball out. This is a different system. So no, I'm not going to flip a switch and start hanging on to the football more. That's not how I want to play. It's not how we played all year. The ball is coming out pretty good on time, and that's how we want to keep doing it. But it was funny, especially after I kind of held it, moved left, ran to the right, ran for 7, slid, got up and looked over. And Dave was looking at me with that look on his face, like, what in the hell are you doing? So we had a good laugh about that later.
Mike Spofford.
Hey, Aaron, you've talked a lot over the years about how every season it's a new team and a new bunch of guys, different bunch of guys. So in that context, what do you like best about playing with this bunch of guys?
Man, that's tough. It's tough to pick just one thing. And for me, the Packer experience is so much different, I think, than a young player coming in, living in an apartment or condo or house and learning the city and figuring out what life is like all about in Green Bay and trying to learn their teammates. I've been here 17 years, so I know the city. Now it's about those special little moments throughout the week with certain people and just enjoying everything that living here has meant. So the special part about this year, about every year, I think, is always the new guys and watching them come in with big eyes and seeing the personality start to come out and develop as they get comfortable and start enjoying, being a part of the team. It's the undiscovered part of it, with guys like Rasul and Devondre coming in and seeing their production and then the adversity when it hits, losing Z and Jair and Billy and Dave, obviously, for so much of the season, and Whitney Merciless comes in, and that's exciting, and he gets hurt. Just all the different injuries that we've dealt with, Marquez and his injuries. And I think that's the exciting part. You never know what the season's gonna hold, but I do cherish the friendships with these guys, with the coaching staff, with the lifers that have been here, the equipment guys, the trainers, the cafeteria staff, the people on the third floor. It's fun. I mean, it's been a fun season. Now we just got to find a way to finish it off with winning our last game.
Last one, Bill Huber.
Hey, Aaron, if you want to get done cleaning your house, mine's a mess from Christmas too. To the real thing here though is, you guys have really been humming on offense, and everyone's beat the hell this time of year, but you got back Dave, you're going to get back Randall. How do you feel about the offense now and the chance to really take off here in the playoffs?
Yeah, we just got to find a way to gel. We really do. We've been banged up a little bit, but we're getting Cobby back. That seems pretty certain. Aaron Jones had the week off last week, which is great because he's such a dynamic player. We still need, we had some production, from the tight end spot, which is great, with Josiah and Daff making some plays. We got to make sure that we get 83 healthy. But I like the depth that we have at offensive line. I like the way that EQ has played. He's been such an important part of what we're doing on teams and also on offense. Obviously, the unsung heroes like Big Dog, AJ Dillon, who's had such a nice year for us, Alan Lazaro doing the dirty work and having a ton of, production the last few weeks has been great. So we just got to put it all together. We got to be great in all three phases. I think that's the only thing that's held us back over the years is, especially in some of these championship games, just, not being great in all three phases, whether it's, offense, myself, or defense, not playing great, or teams. Obviously there's a couple bad memories there, but we just got to put it all together. But health wise, man, this is amazing to be out of practice and see 55 run around and see 18 run around and 23 out there, 77. You're like, whew, feels pretty good having these guys back. Starting the excitement level definitely goes up, and the energy is right where it needs to be. So we're going to enjoy this week. We're going to rest. We're going to fine tune a couple things and watch this weekend, figure out who we play, and then get ready for the divisional round.